Hey guys, it's Carolyn with Carolina Crafting, and today I thought I'd make a Halloween card and share it with you. With our new online exclusives, we have fall, Halloween, Christmas, and it's just really been making me want to get into making some of the cards for those holidays. So I'm using the Frightfully Fun, let me make sure that's right, yep, Sweet Collection, and this is the card. When it opens, you see Happy Halloween. So I used my Everyday Arches dies on this card, and I've made cards this shape before, but I really like this because it's, you know, kind of shape of a tombstone. So let's get started on it. So for this card, you're going to need the 3 largest of your Everyday Arches. And here I've got mine stacked together. So this largest one, the biggest one, you're going to use to cut your card base. The next size, you're going to cut a piece of basic white, and that'll be the piece that goes inside your card. And then this last piece, the smallest one you're going to use, you'll use to cut your designer series paper. So let me grab the largest one again. And I'm using basic gray for my card base, and it's just a regular A2 card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And what you're going to want to do is come down to the bottom and just put it so that your this corner kind of butts up against the corner down here. You're not covering it, but just going right up to it so that it doesn't cut through your where your card opens there. So I like to use a little bit of what I use is called mint tape, but what it is just a low tack tape to hold your dies in place, and it won't hurt your cardstock or your paper. That should hold it. And let me grab my machine and we'll get that cut. Alright, so I've got my sandwich made here for my die cut. We'll just run it through. And when I pop my die out, and take the tape off, you'll see I'm left with my card base. Now this one, because it's got the stitching, it kind of sticks together on the edges at first, just where it die cut all the way through. But I thought that made a really cute, or would make a really cute card base, like if you wanted to make like a tombstone card too. But I decided to use the Frightfully Fun Suite and all of the cute little stamps and things we have in it. So next I'm using the designer series paper that comes in the suite, and I wanted to keep mine card kind of monochromatic, not have too many colors, leaving it mostly gray, black, and white. And I like that moon in there, so what I'm going to do is cut mine down. As you know, this designer series paper is 12 by 12, and I've already cut it in 2. So this is a 6-inch strip of paper. Actually, let me get the bottom in here. And I'm just going to go through and divide it equally into 4-inch pieces, so that it'll make it easier if I want to go back and use the other pieces in a card. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but that's thunder you're hearing in the background. I thought, that's a perfect setting to make this video with the thunder and the storm in the background. Alright, and here's the piece you have left, or the piece that I want to work with. And now I'm going to come in with my smallest of the 3 arches that I'm using, and just decide what I want to show on the card. And then I'll use some of this low tack tape again to tape it in place where I want it to stay. And we'll grab the machine again. And we'll get this run through. Okay, and there I'm left with the designer series paper, the portion I want for my card. Now let's do a little bit of stamping. For my stamping, I just need a little scrap piece of white for the front, and I'm going to stamp my ghost and the boo to you that goes on the front on here. And I still have the Memento Tuxedo Black ink, but if you've got the new basic black hybrid ink, that'll work too. Okay, and I might as well stamp the piece that's going to go on the inside while I've got my ink out. So remember, it was cut with the second largest of the arch dies, the largest being your base of your card. We'll just stamp Happy Halloween on this one. And then, while I've still got my ink out, let me bring in a little scrap piece of paper. And I'm going to stamp a few spider webs around the edges of my card base. Can y'all hear the thunder in the background? That's just too perfect while making a Halloween card. We'll put one at the top and then do the corners of the bottom. There we go. All right, I believe all of our stamping's done now. So let's move this aside, and then we're going to go back to some die cutting. So in the set, I should have shown you what all comes in this set. So the bundle, if you just get the stamps and dies, it's called Oh My Fright. And you'll see it's got that cat that looks like it's scared, the cat with the like witch's hat, the ghost, and some bats and things. And then let me find the dies. Which these coordinate, you know, with the cat, and the cat with the witch's hat, and the ghost. And bat. But then it's got a nice tag here as well that you can cut, in that tree, and then some little stars and swirls. And if you get this whole suite, very popular has been the embossing folder that comes with it, which is called Swirls of Magic. If you saw my card on the 4th of July, I used this for the blue part of the American flag with the stars, and I've also used it on birthday cards as well as some Christmas cards I've already made. So even though it comes with the Halloween suite, you can use it for just about anything, and I think I have since I've had it. Okay, so now going back to cutting out our images, so I'm going to use the ghost die from the Oh My Fright bundle. And grabbing my low-tack tape again here. And then I'm using this little square that's from the Perennial Postal dies. It just fits this phrase perfectly. And then I'm also going to use the bats and just a little scrap of black cardstock and cut out my bats to put on it. So let me grab my stamp cut and emboss machine again. And we can run all of these through at the same time. And you'll see my bats are sticking to my mat here. Let me get those off. There we go. And let me pop these out. Okay, so here's what we've got, and we can start decorating our card and putting it together. So bringing the card base back in, first I'll just go ahead and glue this little piece inside. And just center that right inside your card there. Okay, and now we can decorate the front. So first I'll put on my Designer Series paper. And I'll center that as best I can on the front. And then I'm going to glue down my Boo to You and a couple of the bats, and then I'll save the ghost and one of the bats to put dimensionals on. And I'll grab my little reverse tweezers here because these are so tiny to hold on to put glue on. And I like to try to find a place like where the yellow shows through for his eyes. The other one down. Up here. Okay, let me grab my dimensionals. I'll put a couple on the ghost. to the side. And then this last bat, let me pop, one of his eyes didn't pop through. There we go. I had to use the mini dimensionals and cut one in half because his wings are so little. And let me grab one of these little ones here. Now you could, well, I wanted him to be a little dimensional. You could just put glue on him too, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted him to stand up a little bit. So I'm grabbing just one of the mini dimensionals and the best I can try to eyeball it and cut it in half, which leaves you these teeny tiny pieces here. This was the hardest part of the card. I mean, it come together really quickly, and you'll see this isn't really hard. It's just really small pieces to work with on these little dimensionals. And then they stick to your finger. I'm gonna try using my take your pick tool to put it on. That works way better. And I'll use it to take those backings off. And then I just wanted to make sure the eyes were over the white part there, so you could kind of see the eyes shining through. And there you go. It's a cute little quick Halloween card that you can send out. I've got 2 ready to go. And if you missed my live, I do a live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I shared a few cards and we made one a few weeks ago, but here's another card that's made with this set. Happy Halloween on the inside of it. And then we did this cute little card that has, I used the tag die. The ribbon comes with it as well, with this sweet collection. And then I used the embossing folder on it, and these little, we'll put it up a little closer, these adhesive little bats. Let me see if I've got them handy to show you. Here we go. This is the full set of embellishments, dots. You got white and black dots, and then you've got those cute little ghosts and the bats in the collection. They're called adhesive backed bats, ghosts, and dots. And then I had one more card to show you that I made, which is this Happy Halloween, and I haven't fixed it yet. If you watch my live, you'll see I put it on the wrong way, so I've still got to cut the front off and just add it to another card base. But if you can tell, I'm going to try to bring it up close. I used my Winka Stella to color that moon in to try to give it some, like it was glowing. I don't know if you can tell that on camera or not, but it looks good in person. It just picks up that little shimmer in there. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching me make this card, and I'll have the link to this sweet collection so that if you're interested in purchasing it, you'll know how to do that. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a great day.